guys, welcome back to Real Talk. This is Zach. I'm joined by Solo and Rahan. Let's talk some cricket, guys. ICC World Test Championships. I don't know if anyone knew what was going on, but it's been going on now for
I
a
didn't,
while.
to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Apparently it's a thing. Yeah.
They've been very quiet about it, but it's a Test Championship. It gets played over 2 years. Then there's a final, all that kind of stuff. So far, India's played the most games. They've played 7 games so far. Australia's played 7 as well. India's won 3 series out of 3 pretty much. Australia's won 1 series. New Zealand's played 2. Sri Lanka's played 2. England's played 5 games. West Indies 2. Bangladesh 2. Pakistan 2. And South Africa 3. Now coming first at the moment is India with 360 points. Second Australia, New Zealand, then Sri Lanka, England, West Indies, Bangladesh, Pakistan and South Africa coming last. The way it works is, now for certain games you get a certain amount of points. If your test series is 5 games, then it's the same amount of points that are distributed over a 2 test series as well. So for example, if I'm playing 5 test series, the max points I can get is 500 points. And the same thing applies if I'm playing a 2 test series, the max point I can win is 500 points, for example. Very confusing, but interesting. Very interesting.
But do the teams play equal amount of games? Because if you see Pakistan, they haven't played the last test before the Australian series was what, a year ago or something.
Yeah, it was, no. But even though they don't play the same amount of games, the points end up evening it out. So, like I said, for example, Pakistan played a 2 test series with Australia. If they won both their games, they would win equal points as India for their 1 series that they played against South Africa, for example. So it ends up pretty much evening.
But I think what Rahan's saying is, will they end up playing the same amount? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like will it all add up in the end?
The points will all add up in the end.
The points will add up in
They'll
the end.
have opportunity to get the same amount of points as every other team.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so the again, like I said, it's confusing. At the moment, India's killing it. They've beaten South Africa.
Predictable,
they beat
but
New Zealand. I think they beat, might have been Sri Lanka as well. I'm not sure.
Was any of them away from home or in India?
South Africa was away from home. They beat
that's
South
Africa.
Africa in South Africa. Sorry, Bangladesh. They versed Bangladesh, and they beat them as well. So they're the ones looking like in top form. Coming up now, we have the New Zealand Australia series, which seems exciting. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more competitive than the Pakistan series, to be honest. Sorry to say, but
No, don't be sorry, man. A game between the 2 5-year-olds on the side of the
this guy, man, he just doesn't. Any opportunity to disrespect Pakistan's board, he's going to take.
100%.
What did New Zealand verse last? They versed England? Was
Yeah.
that?
Smashed
they
them.
versed?
Smashed
Yeah.
England.
Smashed England, yeah.
Again, were they were home to
They
New
were
Zealand.
home.
Yeah, again, it's just like they're a quality side, but against Australia,
Tough.
It's tough.
can you beat them? It's tough. Like they're all dead wickets. Did you see the Sheffield Shield game the other day
the
about how
MCG.
it's too bouncy, it's
Mm.
too
Okay.
lively the pitch?
And
Didn't
they
one
cut
of them
the
get
game
called off?
Yeah,
the
they
Melbourne
cut the
one?
game off. Yeah.
Get over it, man. That's the problem with Australian cricket. Anyway, that's gonna be for another video. But in this series, it's gonna be a lot closer. I think the bowling attack for New Zealand will do its
Yeah,
bit.
definitely.
It's the batting part for New Zealand that is a bit questionable for me.
You know, I agree with you. I feel like you said it last week. You said Test cricket is dying because literally every team that has a home test sets up the pitch for themselves and makes it difficult for the opponent. Now, obviously, that's how you sort of figure out which teams are good and which teams are not. India, like I said, goes to New Zealand, going to South Africa, playing really well, winning that series. For me, New Zealand put up a better fight than Pakistan, but I think eventually Australia end up winning. I think their team is good. They've got a good team, good solid team. Just that batting order needs to be a bit fixed. Who comes in, who goes out? Matthew Wade, maybe. I'm trying to think on top of my head. Who else was it? Joe Burns, I'm not sure. But this is going to be the real test for Australia. Pakistan was like a warm-up series.
That's what they're calling it.
It was.
This
Yeah.
is the real test. This is now where, all right, you show us how good are you.
Yeah, look, no, I reckon, obviously Australia's batting lineup wasn't tested. But Joe Burns is probably the best opener they got right now. And look, he's obviously going to be in the side for a while since he got all those runs. Yeah, but obviously the other batters didn't get much of a hit. Even Steve Smith came in when the game was pretty much tied up. Didn't get much opportunity to make runs.
Pakistan took care of him very easily.
Yeah,
That was the highlight for them.
It's like we just our whole tour was
Was
focused
focused
on getting
Steve
Steve
Smith,
Smith
yeah.
out, and then if we get him out, then the rest.
I swear, but that's what I said.
Yeah.
I said if they can get him cheaply, they'll get the
Yeah.
rest of them.
and
Yeah.
won a 300. Yeah, why not?
Forgot about the rest. Speaking of Pakistan, a very monumental occasion happening. Test cricket is coming back to Pakistan for the first time in a long time.
Oh wow, that's
So
that's awesome.
That's massive. So we have Pakistan versus Sri Lanka series going
Wow.
on.
Very well started, pretty much.
Yeah, just based on the game here, Sri Lanka's terrible. If Pakistan's bad, and they're bad, Sri Lanka is just terrible. It's like they're going through this transition period for the last 10 years, ever
Mm.
since Joe Warden and Sankara left.
Sankara, that's when Sankara left.
Yeah.
They're still going through it.
So for me, Pakistan should win this, but in saying that, it's Pakistan. So you never know. But away from cricket, big occasion, man. To not have any cricket at home for such a long time, Rohan, you know,
Yeah.
being a Pakistani, that it's affected our fans back at home to not see any cricket, and also our grassroots cricket over there. Just not having. I mean, we had to go play in Dubai, right? Because we couldn't play at home because of all the drama that we
Pretty
had.
much the whole squad has never played a home test in
That's right.
Pakistan.
That's
ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's just like imagine Warner, Joe Burns not having played a test in Australia.
Hmm.
Doesn't make sense, right?
Warner would have been in the team.
yeah, by his record.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah, 100%. So it's a big occasion. Hopefully they do well to mark the occasion by winning, playing positive test cricket.
Well, one thing's for sure, the crowd's going to be crazy.
Big time.
You know,
time.
being that, hungry for it,
Yeah.
any international cricket, yeah, they're going to be crazy.
Big time. They've been starving for something to come back to Pakistan. So hopefully, like I said, we show them. Anything from you? You think Pakistan can win this?
Oh, of course, it's going to be emotionally charged for them. I mean, I think people underestimate how big of a thing this is not playing at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, can you imagine Australia never playing at home, England never? You lose your identity sometimes. Like, I know you've had your issues with them, but to see what they've done this whole time, not playing in Pakistan, they've done pretty well.
Hey, at one point, they were ranked number one test team,
that's
number
the
one
point.
T20 team.
They won the ICC Champions
Exactly.
Trophy. They've done well. Imagine they were at home. It would have been even a massive. It would have been 10 times the boost for them. This might be the change, bro. This might be the thing that changes the course for them. You got no hope.
Not with Misbahs.
Nah, but this series they can win this easily.
Yeah, hopefully.
You don't like Misbah, Zach?
But I have such.
Have you not been listening?
I love him as a player. As a player, he's one of my favorite players, especially
Yeah.
that T20 World Cup one. I still remember
Respect, yeah.
against India. But man, no, he's not a good coach. He's taken us backwards. He's a chief selector, taken us backwards. Cause we're Paki, right?
Mm.
You know this. We need a white guy, right? Just to keep us in line. Otherwise, we become too what's the word? Loose or too late, whatever it is. We need a white guy just there. Hello sir, yes sir, no problem sir. Just doing all that kind
More
of stuff.
official, yeah. Someone's more official.
Something we thrive under it. We thrive under that kind of stuff. Look, if you look at any business in Australia, the reason why we're doing so well because the council's on top of us. The council has to be. There's no council. Go look at our businesses overseas in Pakistan, bro.
Like,
But how many health violations you don't want to know?
I want to ask you, Rahan, yeah? Do you think 1 year from now, I don't even know about this, yeah? I don't know if you knew last week when I asked you the question.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so he knew that. This is the question. Do you think 1 year from now, Pakistan can be a much improved side than they are right now?
I reckon definitely. Because the no way up, the any way up is only way up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, do you see the reasoning behind that? Not because it's going to be great and this.
Now look,
No.
I-
Once
But
you're
don't
at
you got to
the
give him?
bottom-
But don't you think you should give him time a bit
Yeah,
of
yeah,
time?
I don't
to go.
agree with Zach. In terms of Misbah, leading the way. Look, my initial thought was the Australian series. Look, it wasn't a right time to come to Australia
That's
because
exactly
we
right.
are rebuilding. The whole new captain, new squad, new
It's
players.
tough test.
Starting a 16-year-old in Australia, when does that happen? It's not
Never.
obviously.
Never happened.
So I reckon it is the rebuild state. For me, it's a rebuilding phase. The only way is to go up from here.
But
Do-
why,
do-
we,
do you
why,
try-
why were we rebuilding? We had a
Because-
team.
No, we didn't have a team.
We did. Mickey Arthur gave us the team. We had a team.
How successful was that team though?
They were okay.
They were okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were okay.
Yeah.
They weren't terrible like these guys. Where's rebuilding?
Well, you got to
when
give them time.
I'm with you. All right, we're rebuilding. Why are we bringing in 30-year-old batsmen then? Where's the rebuilding
Who's
phase
the
in that?
30-year-old?
All of them.
No, who's
Yeah,
30?
besides Imam ul Haq.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Sohaib Maqsood, or what his name? Masood, sorry, Maqsood.
Yeah.
Besides him, they're all 30. 31, 32,
Well,
33.
Azhar Ali's
He's 30s.
he's captain. Fair
Yeah,
enough. He needs
and
some
Babar Azam, sorry, is
leadership.
20. Besides them, they're all in their 30s, bro.
Yeah.
So where's the rebuilding? Why Azhar Ali did he come back?
How old is Shan Maqsood?
That's what I'm saying. He's 27, I think,
Yeah.
28.
Look, he was solid. I liked him.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah,
him too.
yeah.
Babar Azam's 20, 25, 26. He's solid.
He's
He's the future.
He's the
Yeah.
future.
He's
the
the
future.
now, the future, the next 10 years
Yeah.
for you guys.
Imam
the-
ul Haq is always young, 20, 25, 26
Yeah.
as well. Besides that, everyone's old. The only young, we had Shaheen Afridi, which was young, and then the two 16-year-old bowlers.
Who's
That's-
left?
that's
Who's
it.
old? Who's old?
The rest of the team. bro.
Who's the rest of the team?
So you had Iftikhar, you had Imran Khan, you had who was Azhar Ali, you had
Who's a tall bowler?
Shaheen.
No,
That's
no,
right.
no, no, really, really tall.
Irfan, Mohammed Irfan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came for the one days. Oh my
Yeah.
god, he's almost 40, bro.
Yeah,
Like it didn't make
he
sense.
should have been in the team.
That's what I'm saying. They've gone backwards because
Yeah.
Mickey Arthur set a standard and a
Yeah.
base, and instead of pushing on from that, they're like, yeah, let's just restart and let's. Hey, Azhar Ali, weren't you captain once, bro? Hey, come try again, cuz. That's what annoyed me.
Look,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Zach has been for the last 3 weeks been telling me it's dire straits. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be really bad for the next year as long as Miss Buzzian.
Look, I reckon
Do
give
you
him time.
think that as
No,
well?
No, I disagree.
That's what I'm saying. I want to say a different
Look, I
perspective
have
of
a lot
that.
of respect for Misbah. As a player, as a person, I reckon, even when he was like, he's almost 40. When he before he retired, man, he was fit. He was the fittest player in the team. He was the hardest working player in the team. Look, that carries on. It doesn't end just with you playing. You carry on as his coach. You carry on whatever he does. It's just that's his personality. So I have faith. I reckon.
Was he not captain when they became the number 1 test team?
Yeah, he was.
I agree with what he said. Yeah,
Was he the
As a-
captain?
He was as a player.
I just want to hear you say
As
it.
a player, Misbah was. I told you I was a fan of him. As a
I
player.
know that.
These selections have just made me a bit skeptical and a bit like, what the hell's going on?
You think he just done a Freddie, like a Freddie Umberg, like first two games,
Maybe,
Yeah,
and maybe,
that's
and then
not-
this third game he's
maybe.
gonna get it right.
maybe. But again, even if you get it right against Sri Lanka, it's Sri Lanka. Who cares?
No, what if they smack Sri Lanka?
They already did before they came to Australia. They smacked Sri Lanka. Did they? No, sorry, they lost to Sri Lanka. Did they? I can't remember.
No, they beat Sri Lanka. I'm pretty sure they did.
They might have beaten them, but it's just Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Show me against England. Show me against even. South
But
Africa
you
or
know
Samoa.
they're in a transition period where whether you care about a rebuild or not, it's a different coach, it's a different tactics, different setup.
captain. Yeah.
It's all different setup right now. So don't you have to give them time
I
to
will.
set into
I'll
their ways
give-
and then judge them against the big teams in a year
I
or
will.
two?
I'll give
That's
you,
my
I'll
point.
give them the time, no problem. But I'm saying there's just a few alarm bells ringing.
I know
When
this.
you bring back Azhar Ali, when you make Babar Azam your captain, but then don't make cut for test, doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, look, that's
When
fair,
you
that's
make
fair enough.
Babar Azam bat number 5,
All right, that was the one thing I didn't get. The
When
batting,
you-
the
yeah,
batting
when you open
order.
Azhar
I
Ali-
said he should
That
have
was
been
weird.
3 or 4 at worst. You can't. bring him
Harris
five.
Harris
Yeah.
Sahel should not be 3. Should not be
Harris
anywhere near
Sohail,
3.
after the one dayers, should have went back Pakistan and focused on
one day's a
his
T20.
everything.
He's a T20 player.
T20
whatever.
player,
Oh,
but like you can
Test
put
player.
him in a test team low order. We knew the game. Like we were talking about it before. That's probably the only issue I had with Pakistan so far. But again, surely they're gonna be a better team this time next year.
You know
Surely.
What? You know what? Hopefully we're still on the air next year.
We were sponsors by then.
By then we'll have, maybe 150.
I think whether we're
subscribers.
successful or not, you're gonna come back this day next
I
year
won't. If you can rub it in
and
my
know
face,
I'm wrong when I'm wrong
and, I'll
and
say
we're wrong.
sorry and everything.
He's gonna go, look, I told you.
Just quickly to finish it off, South Africa, England have a series as well, starting in December. Both coming off losses. Who do you guys have there? South Africa versus England. This is
Where is it?
in South Africa. But
Ooh.
South Africa just lost the series to India in South Africa.
I don't know about South Africa. Like after that World Cup, I don't know how the test team is, but look, it's something wrong with that team.
Yeah, something doesn't make
It
sense.
doesn't make sense.
I haven't really researched about them, where they are. Are they transitioning? Are they got a new coach, new setup as well? I'm not sure about them. Usually at home they're great, you know what I mean? But
India's a great team. Maybe that's just why they.
but England losing away in New Zealand doesn't give me over them in South
No,
Africa,
that's
to be
true.
honest.
Yeah.
So you'd rather back South Africa here.
I think on paper, England's I think is a better team, but again, at home.
I think they got rattled in the Ashes, man. I think that's
Could
rattled them
be.
a bit. I think they thought they
Could
were
be.
better than what they showed.
Well, they were favourites. They should have won.
Yeah,
According to a lot
yeah,
of people.
yeah,
They should have won
exactly.
the Ashes. And
That's
they're
what I'm saying.
not
They
winning.
believe their own hype, and I think maybe this is a bit of a lag from what's happened.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, it's going to be interesting. We'll be watching throughout the Test Championships, and yeah, let's see how we go. Hopefully, I'm wrong about Pakistan. And
I'll finish top 4. Don't worry.
Probably not. But
Top 4.
probably
Top
not.
4.